Another thing that you might want to do to a track is add an effect to it, reverberation, or change the equalization of the sound. But the more common thing that you're going to want to do is to simply clean up some background audio or hiss, either high-end or low-end audio problems. In this case, we have a number of takes of Foleyed thunder, and in the background is quite a bit of hiss. I'm going to just play a little bit of it, and I want you to look over here at the meter and listen carefully, and you'll see that even when there apparently is no sound, there's a high level of audio running in the background that is our background hiss. So I'm actually going to trim out a lot of this on both sides of that rolling thunder to give you a sense of how we can clean up that hiss. So I'm going to go ahead and trim, and I'm going to normalize this audio to -2. Probably won't adjust too much. No. If we play, you'll see that now I've even made the background hiss louder. So what I want to do is get rid of that background hiss. And to do that, I need to apply an effect or a filter. So if we go to the left-hand side of the screen, there's a tab that says Effects. If we click it, there are a bunch of categories. I'm only going to go into a couple of them. One of them is single band EQ, and in it you'll see something that's called a high-pass filter and a low-pass filter. And the low-pass filter is going to let all sounds beneath a certain frequency through and filter out high-end sounds, so high-pitched sounds, like in this case, the background hiss. The opposite of the low-pass filter is the high-pass filter, which you can use to get rid of low-end rumble. So in this case, I'm going to apply a low-pass filter to this segment by selecting it, clicking the plus, and it defaults by giving me a frequency of 7,000 hertz. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to just play. What I'm listening for is that background hiss, and while it goes, I'm going to go and tweak this frequency to see what it takes to get rid of that background hiss, but not have the thunder sound worse. So that's all the way at the bottom, and now we're not hearing anything. So if I go up, we just start to hear that background hiss. If I go all the way up, there's our hiss. So I'm going to click and drag down. There, that's pretty clean. So I close the window. So I've cleaned up the audio, but one thing that I hope you noticed is that the waveform didn't change at all. And that's because the filter is in place, but it hasn't actually been formally applied to the file. So to do that, we go to Process, Render to Action, and then watch this waveform once I do that. And shrinking on that waveform is a reflection of the changing of the background hiss. There are all sorts of other filters that we could apply to this clip. If we wanted to, we could add reverb to it, or we could add some sort of overdrive to it. We could do all sorts of things with pitch. So just to get a sense of what other filters might do, we could apply some sort of distortion to this clip. Go ahead and click that distortion. We play. Now you'll see we're basically riding clip at 0. And I encourage you just to play around with filters, see if you can get it to do something that you want it to do with the sound. Instead of applying these filters to specific clips, you might end up wanting to put some of these distortion type filters on if you're in multi-clip editing, so that you have a number of tracks and are able to manipulate them all the way across that individual track as opposed to applying it to a single clip.